good, y'all? Episode 3. This is ball watching. Here with another episode, man. We're gonna get into some stuff like NFL teams, predictions. Last episode was a banger, you know what I'm saying? But like, follow, and subscribe to my YouTube, man, down below, man. Ball watching. The first L is an I, it's a capital I, so if you put it in wrong, that's probably why. We're gonna get started with the episode, man. Let's do it. NFL record predictions today. Let's see what the team is today. If you know my old episodes, is always starting with NFL record prediction. NFL season coming up, and I am excited, man. I'm ecstatic. Let's see what we got here, man. See what the teams is today, man. Let's see what we got. Pre-recorded, so I don't know what team I'm gonna get. Let's do it. Cincinnati Bengals. The Cincinnati Bengals are our team for today. So let's look at the Bengals schedule. Even though might finish last in the division, who knows? They might finish first in the division, who knows? Let's do it, let's do it, let's do it, let's go. Buccaneers Bengals is our first game of the week. Week 1, I think Joe Burrow plays a phenomenal game. I think Baker losing by Evans really struggles in this matchup. The defense has kind of regressed during the Bengals over the last 2-3 seasons after Brady left. The defense has kind of declined, so I'm gonna give the Bengals a win right here. I think they win this game. I think the score prediction to this game, it's gonna be a little, it's gonna be a little dink and dunking. A lot of field goals probably in this game. So I'm gonna give the Bengals 21. I'm gonna give the Buccaneers 13. 21-13 is my final score for that game. Bengals Texans. Texans automatic, just defense across the board. It's just better than uh the Bengals defense, excuse me. And I think with the addition of Dexter Lawrence, I don't think it really helps much as far as getting stops. The Texans offense is a little questionable coming into this year as well. They added offensive talent as far as tackles positions and the offensive line, but I'm really worried about the offensive line. I think Texans do win this game, but I think it will be a close matchup. I'm predicting the score 31-28. I think the Texans get it done here. I think Joe Burrow, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase puts up points, and I think it'll be a good game. Third game, Bengals Steelers. I think they split this matchup. I think the Bengals and Steelers are probably even as far as offensive defense side of the ball. Slight edge goes to the Bengals for the offensive side and the offensive talent. Between the coaches, I mean, it's whatever. It's Zach Taylor and it's Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy is a new addition to the Steelers offense as long as the Bengals, rack up points. The Steelers defense is pretty good. I would say is it's pretty much, it was average last year. I think it will be average this year. They didn't add really any more key pieces than they needed. I think the Bengals still put up points. I think the score prediction for this game will be 24-14 Bengals. I think Bengals start off pretty good. I think the Bengals start off pretty good, 2-1, to start the season. Bengals Jaguars. This is a toss up game for me. It's pretty much quarterback play at this point. Both defenses are kind of average, and you're kind of banking on the quarterback. So I'm gonna bank on Joe Burrow being healthy during the season, and so I'm gonna give the route to the Bengals. I think the Bengals start off 3-1 to start the season. Bengals Dolphins. I'm gonna give it to the Bengals here. Just Dolphins are just looking to rebuild. I did my last episode on the Dolphins, and they didn't look too good to start the season. Games were pretty brutal. The teams that are playing were pretty, you know, they were pretty bad. The teams that were playing, and they're pretty bad. So it's like it was a rough schedule for the Dolphins. So I'm gonna give it to the Bengals here. Bengals and Ravens. I'm gonna give the Ravens this one. I'm gonna give the Ravens this one. Given Justin Minter and his offensive scheme and his with the talent that he has, I don't think the offense will be an issue. Defense will probably be, we'll have to wait and see because Jesse Minter has known to uplift defenses as far as going to different organizations and upgrading that defense. So I'm gonna give it to the Ravens here. I don't think they split. I think the Ravens 2-0 the Bengals, just given the talent. And I think Joe Burrow to start the season will be healthy still, but I think it will just be too much because of the talent gap. Titans Bengals. I will give the Bengals a win here, and this is a sneaky game for the Titans to come out and clutch it up. Bengals Dolphins. I didn't give a score prediction. 28-7. I think it will be the score. Bengals Ravens. I think the Ravens win pretty comfortably. I think this is a 35-20 game. So Titans Bengals. I will give it to the Bengals here, and it will be a lot closer than people think. The defense is pretty above average. I think Jeffrey Simmons really wreaks havoc on the offensive line since the offensive line is still struggling this year. Probably, I would say they will be at the bottom of the league as far as like just getting timely plays at a high level. And also, I will give a Bengals a loss to both. No, actually, let's do Titans Bengals right now. Titans defense is pretty above average, so I think they will get timely stops. Bengals, I don't know. It's a sneaky game. It's a 50-50 game. It's either you take the Titans or you take the Bengals. I'm gonna take the Bengals here. Bengals Falcons, another 50-50 game. Given reports, I think Cooper Rush is starting quarterback for the team right now. Tua Tagovailoa is probably dealing with injuries. Michael Penix is also dealing with injuries, so I'm going to give the Bengals here just off the talent alone. Defense will probably, you know, Joe Burrow shouldn't struggle in this game. Defense is pretty good though for the Falcons. They're above average for sure, but I don't think Joe Burrow has to worry about that. Steelers Bengals. I think the Bengals split here. I think I gave it to the Bengals the first game. I'm gonna give it to the Steelers this next game, or whoever I had winning, they're gonna lose here. They split. I'm looking for the score to be 14-27. That's my final score for that squad. Bengals Commanders. Commanders coming off a difficult season last year. Jaden Daniels was hurt. A lot of the team was just predicated on his success as a quarterback. Not real talent built around him. That they did add a couple people here and there. I think the Bengals do beat the Commanders this year. I think the Commanders just they put in a lot on Jaden's plate, and I don't think he can elevate an offense with the talent gap around him. Even though the defense, when he was healthy and he was playing at a high level, they went to the NFC Championship. They could have went to the Super Bowl that year, but the Eagles are just way too talented. But I think the Commanders lose this game, just given last year and their overwhelming defense, just not be able to get enough stops. Saints Bengals, this is also a close game. I would say I'm gonna take Bengals here because I just trust Joe Burrow to elevate with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Given Joe Burrow's health, I just don't know if he will be available this season. But I think, as me personally, I think he will be healthy the whole year. And if he doesn't be healthy and they finish bottom in the league again, I think he will Chris. I think he gets out. But I give the Bengals the edge on this one, 31-10. I don't think the Saints put up points on the defense, given, talent gap and I'm gonna give it to the Saints. The Saints are a team that a lot of people expect to be a sleeper team. Uh, I would say 7 to 8 wins, but they can beat the Bengals. This is a team that can beat the Bengals if they actually lock in, hone in on the small things. But I'm gonna give it to the Bengals here. Bengals Browns. I think the Bengals sweep the Browns this year. I don't with Deshaun Watson as your quarterback. I don't think you're banking on him to elevate an offense with little to no talent around him, let alone a run game to stop anything. I think I'm gonna give it to Joe Burrow. Them. I think they sweep the Browns for sure. I think they sweep the Browns. I think they do sweep the Browns. Defense will probably be average. They probably won't put up enough points to stop. As far as the Browns, they won't put up enough points to stop the Bengals offense. I think this offense is prolific. I think it will be a top 10 to top 7 offense in the league. Uh, that will probably be above our 500. Probably that's probably my ceiling with them. My floor. Bengals win this one 28-14. Chiefs Bengals. I think the Chiefs win here. Uh, just a culture built around this team. I think the Bengals are just coming off last year, just a disappointing season where Joe Burrow was not healthy. Joe Flacco was coming in giving them good production, and he was losing games. So I think the Chiefs just overall, I don't want to say they're a better roster than the Bengals, but definitely trust them more than the Bengals in the matchup. But the Bengals do wake up for games like this, so who knows? When December rolls around, I think Patrick Mahomes gets it done in December though. Bengals Panthers. I'm gonna give it to the Bengals here. I don't think the Panthers have a. I don't think they might have. They might have a shot, man. I trust the Panthers to be above 500 this season, but I don't trust them to be prolific offensives this season because the defense is pretty good. Jason Horn and them. They're gonna get timely plays, but I don't think the offensive side of the ball will be timely enough to just get enough points on the board. I'm really high on the Bengals offense this year. Not the Bengals as a whole, but just their offensive side of the ball. Given Joe Burrow's health, I think they could produce about like 20, 25 points. So I'm gonna give record prediction, score predictions for the Chiefs Bengals. I think the Chiefs beat them 24-17. I think they lose and clutch plays. Bengals Panthers 35-10. Bengals Colts. This is also a toss-up game in December. I really don't know who's going to win this game, but I have to say team construct. This is probably the most even amount of team. You don't know what you're getting from your quarterback on the Colts side. You know what you're getting for Joe Burrow when healthy, but you don't know what you're gonna get from him when he's not. So these teams are pretty even. Defenses are probably slightly leaning the Colts, given the talent around them. And the Bengals defense, I just don't trust them well enough. Sure, they got key pieces, but do they contribute to winning plays? Do they contribute to winning defenses? And if you're not a top 15, 20-ish defense, you're probably not going to win that many games. You're probably going to be bottom 10 in the league, and you're probably going to get a first round draft pick. So I'm probably going to give it to the Colts, given the fact I don't trust the offense on the Colts side of the ball, but I do trust their defense. I don't trust the Bengals defense, but I trust their offense. So they kind of coincide. They kind of just butt heads right there. So I would give the Colts the edge on this one. It'll probably be 24-21. It'll be a close, really close game. Ravens Bengals. I would give the Ravens the edge. I think the Ravens are on a mission this year to win a Super Bowl with Lamar Jackson, and I just think they'll sweep the Bengals. I don't think it'll be a dogfight for sure, but I think they'll win. 28-35 is my score prediction for the Ravens Bengals. Browns Bengals, like I said before, I think they sweep the Browns in this matchup. Bengals just look like a team of, yeah, we can beat certain teams without a quarterback, but when we have a quarterback, I don't think we can win games. So yeah, I'm gonna have to give it to the Bengals on this one. Score prediction probably is 7-35 or 7-28. I think Shador starts between the middle of the season, so he might put up more points than Deshaun Watson. And Deshaun Watson, am I banking on his career to be over? Not necessarily, but it is surely not looking good for Deshaun right now. 2 interceptions in training camp, as reports say. So we'll see how that works. Now I'm going to do record predictions for the NBA. Now I'm not going to go through all the 82 games because we don't have the season yet. Uh, The teams have been finalized, but if it spends on what I'm gonna project how many games they win, given the 82 game sample size, their floor and their ceiling, and their grades as a team, starting five. So let's see what we got. Let's see who we got. Let's see who we got. Charlotte Hornets. This is interesting. The Charlotte Hornets got off of LaMelo Ball, like I said in the previous episodes. They got off LaMelo Ball and they wanted to basically kind of rebuild. I don't think I think LaMelo contributes to winning, but since he was in Charlotte, I don't think it fit the timeline uh for what player he can become if he was to stay with the Hornets. I think it will be too late. And I think the only shot they had to make the playoff, I think if they would have made the playoffs and they would have lost in like 6 games, I'm pretty sure they would have kept LaMelo. But the fact that you lose in the play-in and you were hyped to make the playoffs as an 8 seed kind of just set back expectations for you. So with the record prediction, I'm gonna as far as the Hornets ceiling, you got Kobe White on the roster as of right now, projected. This is projected. This is not the official starting five. So you got players like Kobe White, Brandon Miller, people, teams like that have like a lot of not star power, but a lot of role players. Uh, I would see the Hornets maybe. I think back where they started. I think they will be a 10 seed this year. I think their ceiling is probably a 10 seed. Their floor is just making the playoffs, man. I just don't think this team is well aware of the East this year, and they didn't get better. They actually got worse because they didn't get back Lamelo. They actually traded him for Nasri, and I think Nasri contributes to winning basketball. I just don't think the team is fully roster constructed to handle the teams in the East. The Knicks are better. The Sixers are better. The Celtics are better. The Raptors are better. Uh, and I think I mentioned the Knicks. I think personally, if Tyrese gets back to where he was, like above average, I think the Pacers are a better team. Even without Tyrese Halliburton, I think they're a better team than Charlotte. So there's that. I think Washington is better than the Hornets. That's my dark horse for making the playoffs. Them and Chicago Bulls. I think the Chicago Bulls are slightly above them. I would give the edge to Chicago, given the star depth and Mataz and Caleb Wilson's development. I think the only team that's not better than Charlotte right now is probably the Nets. Uh, Given star power and things like that, just role player and depth like that. But everybody else is probably better than them. So yeah, there's that. So record probably I think they went close to 30 games, 30, 35 games. That's enough for I think an 11 seed, I would say. In the East for sure. So it's going to be a lot of teams as far as the East that'll probably get more wins than them. So 11 seeds probably the option. The grade for the starting lineup didn't list all the five players, but I think they're I think given rosters and the other teams in the East, I think I would give this close to a C minus. They don't have no star depth. They don't have no initiator or creator on offense. Kobe White was an initiator for Chicago, but I don't think he can do it for an 82 game sample size. I think he can do it in stretches where he has nights where he goes off. But I just don't trust the Charlotte Hornets to build around Brandon Miller, Conkin Kobe White, and Musa Diabate. I just don't. I don't plan on. I don't think they plan on getting a star right now, but I think they got off LaMelo so they can get a better star in the future. So yeah, this is pre-recorded. So if you are watching right now, drop a like, drop a follow, sub to your boy, man. We do this almost. I just started this, so we do it every other day, man. Every day or every other day, man. I am starting to scream now. I wanna have a voice, and I wanna make sure that people understand that I know ball for sure. I'm not just a person out here that just saying other stuff out the blue. So if you're new to the channel, like, follow, subscribe. We out. Peace.